Hello, it's not the Friday Talkie because it's Saturday. I kind of ummed and ahed about what I was going to call it. Saturday Talkie, but then that became abbreviated to Stalky, which just sounds dodgy. So who was it who suggested Saturday Speaky? It's the Saturday Speaky. It doesn't matter what it's called, it's me sitting here talking to you and hoping I don't bore you rigid. So why did I not make a video yesterday, apart from being very, very busy? That was being non-specific. All those, well, many of you who were on Facebook or are following friends, yes, on Facebook anyway, will know it was my birthday. So I wasn't doing anything yesterday in terms of making videos or anything. I answered a few comments and clicked like on an awful lot of comments where people wished me happy birthday. Thank you to all of you who wished me a happy birthday. It was a hell of a lot of you, and that made me smile. It was a good birthday. I'm wearing one of my presents now. How cool is that? I hope you can see that. Yeah. I'm going to do a video on my other channel to show that some of the goodies that I got. I was going to say something else. I have completely forgotten what it was. It's getting dark again. I'm making this much later than I would have liked to have, but today turned out to be quite busy as well. So I've got a light on me, which is probably making everything look weird. Right, what am I going to talk about today then? First up, actually, it's two tag videos, and the first is a tag by Pocketmego. Ray, I've mentioned Ray, I think, in the last, several times recently, but he's doing good stuff, and I find it interesting, and I like to refer to it. And he's done this tag video called Retro Gaming in the Here and Now, where he basically asks, where are you now with retro gaming? Because progress being what it is and time being what it is, what, say, a year or so ago wouldn't have been considered retro, now possibly is. And where do you stand on this? And what are you into in terms of your retro gaming or gaming in general? And I found this a really interesting thing, and some of what Ray said I found interesting because I found myself and my position on these things to be completely the opposite. But I'll get on to that. Where do I stand in terms of what I consider retro now? That actually hasn't really changed in the past couple of years. What I play is absolutely everything. I am a gamer. I'm not just a retro gamer. I play everything up to the PS3. Alright, I try not to play the Wii because I think it's a horrible piece of junk. And that's being unfair. It's a very nice toy, but it's not my thing. I don't play the 360 because I haven't got one. But you know, I play everything up to the current gen stuff. But retro, I draw the line at the Dreamcast. The rule I kind of gave myself was systems that are no longer supported, and the Dreamcast isn't supported and hasn't been for a long time. But by that rule I could then be putting up videos of Xbox, original Xbox. And I've done a few, but they tend to be the compilations of old arcade games. Or I maybe put on one here and there just because I happen to be playing a game and I really like it, but I don't really consider them to be retro. Yeah, Microsoft dropped support for it way, way, way sooner than they ever should have. I think the way they dropped it was stupid. They lost an awful lot of business, where Sony is still supporting the PS2. So for me, I guess I still draw the line really at Dreamcast. Everything before that, it all counts as retro in my book. Where am I in terms of the games that I play? Not for making videos, but for fun. Because Ray was saying he likes to get into the more in-depth, longer games with storyline and whatever, like adventure or roleplay, whatever's on 16-bit systems. I find I've gone completely the opposite. I go for absolutely instant gratification. If there's depth, I don't want to do it. I don't have time, I don't have the It's not that I don't have the concentration, because I can bury myself in a book. I mean, I'm currently reading a history of battleships from the pre-Dreadnought era through to the Iowa-class battleships, and it's like, I will lose myself in this book. So my concentration span, or attention span, is still there, but in terms of games, I was playing, what was I playing? It wasn't exactly a live chat, I had a streaming video with audio and attached chat room going on thingy, blog TV recently, and I was playing Fallout 3. And it was only about the second time I played it, and I had the camera pointing at the screen, and there were people sitting there, and I can't remember how to pronounce your name, but there was a chap in there who was basically giving me hints whenever I was getting stuck and not knowing what to do. He was saying, go here, I should look up who he is. It starts with a T, you know who you are. Thank you for the hints. Oh God. There's going to be an annotation in there saying what his name was. Yeah, and I probably played it for about 2 hours, and by the end of that 2 hours I was bored. I didn't have it wasn't doing it for me at all, and I found this with a lot of games where there is an amount of depth and there isn't a clear, obvious path. Like I'll play a first-person shooter and it's clear, go here, go there, kill these people. Great, but the moment there's sandbox games are a little bit different, because there is a clear objective and you can either choose to do it or ignore it. But I was finding on Fallout 3 the objective was not clear. I was just ambling or wandering around really without a clue, and that wasn't working for me. So what I play most of the time these days is very immediate, in-your-face, instant gratification games. Very often that is a retro game, but not necessarily always. Gran Turismo you can pick up and play, so I still like to play that. Battlefield 1943 is instant, you're in there, kill people. That's all you need to know. And I'm finding that's the kind of gaming I'm doing, all the way from like the really early stuff, ZX81, right up to PS3. I haven't settled on a particular system, and I never really do. I'll pick up something, and that's the one I'm playing for a couple of weeks, and then I move on to something else. I'm having a bit of a roll on the Ataris at the moment. The Atari 8-bit in particular, as you know, I got sent some games by Hero Games for the Atari 8-bit, to whom I'm incredibly grateful. I'm also incredibly grateful to Mark, UK Retro Games, who has sent me a flash cart with a mass of games on. It has arrived today. Thank you, Mark. Very, very appreciative. There's going to be a mass of videos for the Atari 8-bit. I haven't looked to see what is on that cartridge yet, but you know there's going to be a lot of videos coming up. I'm just going to do a mass recording session of those. Okay, so yes, that is where I am at in terms of retro gaming here and now. Immediate, instant gratification, nothing too complicated. Don't want to use my brain, just want to drive fast and kill people, and I don't care what system I do it on. Yes, that's an open tag, so anyone who wants to do a response, do the response to raise thing. I'll have the link down there, and it'll also be a video response thingy. Do your response to Ray's video. In fact, well, check out his video anyway, because he started this. It's his tag. Yes. Okay. Next, another tag, and I've got to move the camera for this and take it in the other room. It's a tag by kazxena. And it is, what's on your memory card, she asks, and I will link to her video down there as well. Memory cards, PS1, PS2, well, they're the ones I'm looking at. I mean, you can look at whatever memory cards you like. What's on them? So I've got to move in there and dig out a PS2 and go up in the loft and dig out, I've got a PS1 memory card up there. If it's, well, I know where the box is, I'm assuming there's still a card in it, and I've got 2 PS2 cards down there as well. So I'm going to have a look. Okay, back shortly. Okay, what the hell's going on here? Copy. I wonder. This is the first time I've plugged this here card in. It's my PS1 card. I had no idea what's on it, or have no idea what's on it. First time it's been plugged in donkey's years. How do I just browse what's in it? There we go. Gran Turismo. International Moto X. I don't even remember that. No, don't do that. Don't get off. V-Rally. Stop it. I just want to browse it. Atari Collection. Ridge Racer. Atari's Greatest Hits Volume 2. What's that down there? Abe Stockyard E. That's Abe's Odd World Odyssey, isn't it? God. I don't know why I've still got that. I didn't even like that game. Okay, that's what's on my PS1 card. I do want... Why can't I... God. I've got a couple of PS2 cards here. Again, I have no idea what's on them. So we'll have a look. What's on here? Ah. Crash Bandicoot. What's that? I don't know what that is. That's Gran Turismo. Again. Gran Turismo 2. I wonder if I can put these onto a USB memory stick thingy and then transfer them onto my PS3, because I would love to get my game saves onto there for Gran Turismo. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot again. What's this? World... I don't know. I think that's... What, is it some touring car thing? I don't know. Probably. WTC? I'm guessing it's some touring car thing. Or is it I've got a rally thing as well? I have no idea. Not a clue. I'm not at all liking the way you browse through these. It just doesn't work very well. What have we got on here? Oh. God, I've got a lot on here. Wow. Okay, so what's that first? Why does it not want to go back? So, I don't know what the first one is. Black, Gran Turismo 4. I don't know what that is. Gran Turismo Concept. Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Tourist Trophy, love that. What's this? Shadow of the Colossus, fantastic game. What's that? I don't know what that is. Or that. I have no idea. Burnout 3. San Andreas, awesome. Midway Arcade Treasures, Time Splitters, Half-Life. Funnily enough, I love Half-Life 2. Half-Life, the first Half-Life, I don't really get on with too well. Riding Spirits 2. That's a good game. The Getaway. Yeah, I like that. I completed that and then spent ages just romping around London on free driving mode and mugging innocent passers-by and the like. Medal of Honor Frontline. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, fantastic game. Spider-Man, absolute pile of shite. I'm not sure exactly what Spider-Man game it was, other than it's for the PS2, but I found it totally unplayable. It was like apparently free roaming, but you didn't know what you were meant to do or where you were meant to go or anything, and I was just like, no, sod this. Horrible game. So there you are. That is a look at what is on my memory card. A very clumsy look where I couldn't really get it to work very well. It's so long since I've used them or looked at them. My goodness. Must try and get some of them onto my PS3. I don't know how. I've got all my good PS2 saves across because I've got an adapter thingamajig. But it didn't work with the PS1 cartridge, so I want to see if I can find a way to do that. But there you go. That is a what's on your card tag response to kazxena's video. So if you want to do a response, link to her video, link back to hers, because it's her tag. Yes, she does some good tag videos. I responded to one of hers before. Link down there somewhere, as usual. Okay, moving back into the other room now. Right then, time for a shout out. And this one is a little bit different from usual in that it's not a YouTube channel I'm shouting out, though there is the person behind it does use YouTube. It is a chap by the name of Andy Key, who some of you will recall a few months ago I did a series of videos of games for the Memotech MTX512, and a good few of those games were written by this chap Andy Key, and he commented on some of my videos, and I hope I didn't upset him too much with what I was saying about the games. I think most of them I actually really did like. So anyway, he got in touch with me just recently and asked, would I like a look at this? This is his, I believe it's new, emulator for the Memotech MTX512. Now I know at the time when I was putting out those videos, quite a few people asked, is there an emulator for this? And apart from the thing on MES, the multiple computer emulator thing, which was probably very incomplete, there were no emulators for it that I was aware of. So anyway, Andy has been beavering away on this, and he gave me the link to it, and I will put the link down there as usual. I went along, had a look, and me being the inept twit that I am, couldn't get it to work. I downloaded it and found the icon for the executable, double-clicked it, it opened up a little window which subsequently disappeared within about half a second, and I thought, okay, it just doesn't like 64-bit Windows 7. And said to Andy, you know, thanks for the link, I will put a link to it on my website, as it is I can't make it work. And he was like, yeah, you're probably doing it wrong. And told me how to do it. Because guess what, I was doing it wrong. You need to open up a command line thingamajig. You probably know how to use Windows better than I do. I'm not even going to try and go there. But you open up a command line doofer and you type in, where is it? It's got all the instructions are on here. I just looked at them and thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to double click the icon. There, it's right in front of me and I can't see it. Let me find. There is just a really, really easy command to make it do what you want it to do. Alright, basically, we'll edit back in here. You use your command line doofer box window thing, and you CD to where you have saved the program, which is called MEMU, or MEMU. Anyway, it stands for Memotech Emulator. We'll call it MEMU because that's how it's spelt. And Andy can slap me later if it's wrong. You CD to the location where your MEMU thing is, and you type MEMU -vid-win-big -snd-portaudio games/defender.com. I will put some text down there just to show that. That is an example. And it works. I had a go at it. And it's great. Lots of other games, some as .com files in the games directory. There's games with it. There are a few games, I'm not entirely sure how many, but Defender is in there with it. I had a go at it. It worked. I totally recommend it. If you're into or interested in the Memotech, don't be intimidated by the command line like I was. I will put down the command. I mean, there's a whole load of commands here which I looked at and thought, whoa. But it is actually really, really simple just to get it up and working so you can play with it, which is what I did. because he showed me how. God, I am waffling. You know what I mean. Try it. You'll see. It's good. I recommend it. I'll shut up now. Link down below. Andy Key's MEMU emulator. MEMU. Yeah. Memotech MTX emulator. Dead cool. Okay then, closing comments coming up. More Atari stuff, lots of Atari stuff, Atari 800 stuff, Atari 7800 stuff, got some Atari 2600 stuff in the pipeline. I have got a couple of Dreamcast games I want to do. Obviously I do all these coming up things, but I can only fit so many into the week. I do want to do some more Shenmue. Loads of stuff planned, not time to get it all done in the allotted time span thing, but you know, there is no shortage of goodies to be done. That's what I mean. Alright, I better start editing it. It's so late. I'm normally done like hours ago. Thank you for watching.